Good evening. Little public service announcement on the 28th of March. Haven't things been interesting in Walton County on the Alan Osborne show? Well, look who we've got behind us. It's Commissioner McCormick. And then the public service announcement, I want everybody to know that at Choctaw Beach on April 8th at the community center, Commissioner McCormick's wanting to have a community meeting and get to know all y'all. Y'all go there and see him, and he's looking to discuss some important community issues. Like, hey, Boots, when y'all were firing old Dee Dee the other day and you voted for it, did you voted for it because she broke the rules, or she got caught, or she lied? Because if she was misusing her purchase card, did you do that too? Man, you got the same look of bewilderment that the sheriff has. He opens his mouth like that too. It's kind of strange. Kind of almost like this. I don't know. This kind of reminds me of that. Anyway, there's more questions you could talk about in this community center instead of the wide and the 20 is how come y'all don't do anything about these other staff members that lie and millions of dollars of misuse? How come? How come you didn't even understand what a variance? How come you haven't investigated Matt Carpenter? Do you think Trey's actions were appropriate? Do you think that stuff's coming back to haunt you? How come you don't have to turn in your text? Boots, do you think you're above the law? I mean, I've sent you so much proof on the violations and the pollution of Choctawhatchee Bay. Do the people of Choctaw Beach know that all the sandestin runoff and the growth that's coming out in the bay is coming out there because guys like you are covering it up? That'd be a good community discussion item. Did you misuse your P card? Did you send nasty texts at a conference down in Orlando? Did you want to have Gary Madison put in charge of special products? And exactly what does Gary do? He works directly for the board. Remember when he got arrested? Yeah, I remember it too. I have no idea, kind of reminds me of this dude. That's you. I just don't get it. But anyway, more discussion at Choctaw Beach. That whole Dee Dee fire and that thing was a trip, wasn't it? Something's going to happen. And, why did you hire all that? Boots, I got a question for you. Who on the BCC directed Clay Atkinson to hire an outside attorney's firm and object to a county judge declaring what the sandestin water quality standards are? Why would you and the other ass clowns that have let this ass clown take total control of our county? This piece of shit is running everything there is as an intern attorney. He has conflicts to death. In fact, he picked the firm that had objected and had sandestin, the development. The Sandestin Owners Association did not want the public and the county officials, these guys right here, these guys that work for us, they did not want the public to know what the water quality standard actually was in Sandestin, because if a judge had said what it was, then they'd have to absolutely follow it. They should be following it now because it's written in law, but they've got to do this though. They got to cover up the $500 million fraud, that the rules just don't apply to some people. And that was painfully obvious in Dee Dee's public execution by the BCC. It really was, because the rules didn't seem to apply to anybody and they were selectively enforced. Danny and Mike can get up there on their high horse about Dee Dee, and hell, she should have been fired. She obviously lied and it seemed to be a joke, and she was in bewilderment that you couldn't do what you wanted if you'd been there 30 years. I mean, just in bewilderment over it. Dee Dee, that's stupid. It's not a family. You aren't a family business. You answer to the public. But worse, there's been much greater violation under these people's noses, and they ain't done a damn thing. And especially Danny and Trey are up for election. Let me tell you, Trey ain't done nothing to save the Bay. And you people in Choctaw Beach, this guy right here, you ought to ask him, why is that pollution? Because you're downstream from it on the north side of the Bay. You better go look at Google Earth and look at, and let me tell you who all has told Commissioner McCormick and the other commissioners that they're violating the standard. They say I'm crazy. Yeah, crazy. Then how come the sheriff doesn't say that? Because he knows everything I say. I have a document that says people, oh, I don't pay attention to him. You damn right. Mikey's butthole's puckered up like you wouldn't believe over this issue. And there was the fat man on the news. He ain't doing nothing to contain anything. He's catching so much heat over that Panama City crap that there he is out there, look like he's going to eat the microphone. They probably have to hang a sign in front of it that says, this is not an éclair, okay? Because we know that he would see it. You know what I mean? Mike might see that dang thing. And you know, when he gets in that mode, he's coming to eat it. So he's down there trying to stop the spring breakers. But this was a public service announcement for Mr. McCormick. There's lots of things that you need to be answering to, but it ain't all that crap. So you guys at Choctaw, y'all ask him some hard questions. Is your behavior really that of a commissioner? And if you were a detective so long, how are you and those other ex-deputy dogs letting all this crap go on right under your nose? Because you don't want the truth out there. You were part of the problem and you still are. It's really a damn shame. Anyway, that's the latest update. And County Destruction, he's still on the shady bunch. This is the next one that's got to go. This guy and this guy. And most of all, you know who's running this county, don't you? This guy, because he sets the standard on what he's going to allow. I'm going to tell you this, and you can take this, will be the last shot for the Alan Osborne show today. In Mr. McCormick's district, I was in Freeport the other day, and I went to I'm not going to give him some bad press, but I went to pick up some to-go pizza. And I was behind a group of about 5 or 6 Hispanic men who spoke no English, to the point that they were pointing at the menu and pointing at their money. As I stood in bewildered watching, I'm not judging them, but they didn't speak a damn bit of English. I mean, the clerk was honestly trying to help them, and I sat there patiently. But here's what I noticed first. One of the guys who spoke no English had a tattoo on his arm, MS and the Roman numerals 13. You check that out, Freeport community, and you ask Boots McCormick, the detective, what are him and this politician really doing to be part of our community? And the answer is bowing down to developers and the rich and doing what looks politically correct on TV, because this guy ain't nothing but a recycled prison guard. And that's your update on the Alan Osborne Show. We'll see you next time out there in Alan Osborne Show land. Y'all keep them straight out there. And if you can't keep them straight and they're all crooked and you think that's okay, well, hell, you're damn qualified for office in Walton County. I'll see you next time.